Is Manchester United up for sale again? I thought it was Turkey when news came out today that has been spreading like wildfires, adding on speculations. Is Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos and Glazers absolutely looking to selling, knowing that it's been 18 months now since Ineos has been taking part of the part ownerships, and in the contract there is a special clause that come now in the Q4 2025, the Glazers can absolutely sell part of the shares or looking for new investors, XYZ. This came out today, guys. There was shake Turkey, and I thought it was Turkey. It's dry hump day. It's like, international breaks. We've seen this news before, and I sort of dismissed it until I actually heard Ben Jacobs speak. And I was thinking to myself, listen, at the end of the day, if something more credible comes out, then I definitely will come out and jump and do a live. But let's dive right into this story here, because this comes out from well-connected Saudi businessman Turkey Aleshi to say the best news I heard today is that Manchester United is now in an advanced stage of completing a deal to sell to a new investor. Hopefully, it's better than the previous owners. We're also going to talk about Harry Maguire, new extensions, and new development regarding who is this mystery development? Who is this mystery investor? Guys, this is going to be a call-in show. Of course, we're going to sort of compare spades to spades, but as a community, we have to talk about it, and you're more than welcome to call in and give me your thoughts and feelings. Like, do you think this is BS? Does it have legs? And at the end of the day, we're going to sort of react to Ben Jacobs' video that he did on United Stand. Guys, do me a massive favors. I haven't been live for 2 months, so I'm a little bit rusty and nervous, but do me a massive favor, like and subscribe. Brilliant, people. Thank you for joining, and let's kick off the show. Send it.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go, people. Love the Glazers? Not at all. Love Man United, hate the Glazers, as per usual on this channel. And nothing grieves me more joy to see news today that they are potentially looking for an investor or to sell certain parts of the club. But you got to take it a little bit with a pinch of salt, or you're going to spice it with a little bit of a pepper. Because this morning it came out from the news. If you follow on the Twitter timeline, I was thinking, yeah, this is the international break. I've seen this script before. I wait until somebody more credible come out to sort of speak about it. And then later on, I see Ben Jacobs talking about it. And one person that I do respect is Ben Jacobs, that is well connected with the Saudi Pro League and knows everything what is been there with Saudi. So we're going to play a clip from Ben Jacobs. There was a little bit with Beth from the United Stand. I stole the little video. So United Stand, if you're watching, please forgive me. We are Manchester United fans, and we all deeply care about the club, and we want the Glazers out. And that's about it. So, guys, let's start with the news today that spread like wildfire. Early this morning came out that Turkey, oh, by the way, I thought it was Turkey first, right? Turkey Al-Akshi. The best news I've heard today is that Manchester United is now open to an advanced stage to complete a deal to sell to new investor. I hope it's the better than the previous ones. And that's a little bit like, yeah, that is bullshit, right? That can't be true. This is the international breaks. There's like nothing to write about. So there's probably some accounts and some tier 3 journalists are kind of printing. But then I see more and more and more. And then I start thinking to myself, look, I remember that it's been the clause in that contract on the sale purchase with the Glazers and Ineos, or Sir Jim Ratcliffe, to say after 18 months, Ineos have the right to actually look for new investors, sell 10% of the shares or entire portfolio or 100%. And if they do, then Sir Jim Ratcliffe or Ineos, they have the first refusal right to bid over, like on $35 per share, if you remember that, right? So the time has now come. And it's also been tweets coming out that the club is in the dark. Nobody really knows. And of course, if it's the Glazers, it is the Glazers, right? Sir Jim Ratcliffe has the football in operation, and that is it. You know, he owns 27% of the shares. So he cannot really say anything if the Glazers want to do. But however, I want to sort of engage with you guys. The link is in the description. Please call in. It's in the Q&A if you look at the live chat. We're also going to play Ben Jacobs' clip from the United stand. And we're also going to look at Fabrizio Romano came out recently to say that Manchester United are in talks to extend Harry Maguire's contract. I'm not kidding you guys. Absolutely not kidding. This is true. Let me just give you the scoop. Here it is. Let me bring this up. Like, let me know your thoughts or feelings regarding this. Just in, according to Fabrizio Romano, Manchester United are in talks with Harry Maguire over a new deal with existing contract due to expire in June. So we know that Harry is going for free in June. Face-to-face meeting with this camp took place the recent days, and more will follow to discuss the conditions. And they apparently see him as a senior leader. But is it something that should we really entertain this? You know, he's coming to the twilight of his career. I understand he's been good. He's a leader. He comes up from the bench. He's no longer starting. But at the end of the day, guys, do we really need leaders? Do we need Harry Slabhead to come in and, you know, with the 10 minutes left of the game and just score the winner? We've seen that so many times, and I have no problem, in my opinion, because Harry's been improving, right? Harry proved us wrong. Well, we all wanted Harry Maguire out. He proved to the odds. He said, I'm going to prove to you guys that I'm Harry Maguire, and I'm going to actually do my bits to earn my spot in the team. And so far, he's been doing that. So big up to you. Before I continue the show, big up Tactical Devils. I think it's Jarvis in here. Jarvis, big up to you. Big up to you, Jarvis. We have Don in the house as well. Don Bertram, more likely investor. Think Glazers prepared to sell a bit. I'm going to give you my thoughts and feelings regarding that, you know, Don as well. So, and then we hear also UAE, right? The more it spins, right, after the Ben Jacobs, like, you know, he said basically, it's not Saudi Arabia, it's not Qatar. And then it creates this mystery, like, oh, who is this mystery Santa? You know what I mean? And now I see tweets coming out that it is UAE, apparently. Right. Do we believe that? I mean, look, at the end of the day, a lot of fans are dancing. Like, I'm on United exclusive Twitter account. They are dancing, thinking, woohoo, happy days, right? But I take it a little bit with a pinch of salt, right? We will see what happens. And basically, Talk Sport, or some people say Talk Shite, comes out to say the group looking to invest in Manchester United, referenced by Turkey, Al-Akshi, is from UAE. Can it be Dubai? I don't know. But guys, as per usual, I want to read you out. Yeah. Talk Sports says it's UAE. 100%. Yeah. I like that name. Yeah. So big up Kev McGee in the house. Big up to you. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit rusty. If I'm waffling, that's because I'm nervous, guys. I haven't been live for 2 months, but there is something really worthy to talk about and debate. Thomas Vegenes, kul att se dig igen, vännen. That was in Swedish, and in translation, if I am a real AI Swedish translation, I'm not actually cheating because I speak Swedish. So he says, Thomas, it's really nice to see you again, my mate. Thank you, Thomas, so much. And everyone, I'm so happy to be back. I'm happy to see all of these beautiful names that I haven't seen for a while in the VAR room, in the chat room. So continue. Sadek Rahman, sell a club, please, to investors willing to put money in a club. I have a theory, guys. I want to save that theory to the end because I want to continue reading what Mohammed is saying here. Big up all. Muhammad Ali, big up to you as well. Sadek Rahman continues to say the position hopefully will be gone from our club. The poison, I'm sorry, not positioning. Sorry, a little bit dyslexic. And it's basically, wow. I got just an Emirati messaging me from UAE because I asked him the question. And let me see what he replies. I had to ask, like, you know. I know some sheikhs down there. Yeah, I can't do this right now. I'm actually live. I'll read it later. So yeah, hopefully the poison will leave. But if I look at the willingness of the footballing operations, okay, is it better than it used to be? Yes, it is. Do we have a footballing structure? Yes, it is. Is it teething problem right now? Yes, it is. Have them done mistakes? Yeah, but who haven't, right? I'm not defending Ineos whatsoever, but they're doing the goddamn best actually to put a footballing structure. Did they sack Dan Ashford? Yeah, they did. Did they cut down the 500 staff? Yes, they did. Did we protest? Yes, we did. Did they increase the ticketing prices? Yes, they did. Did we finish 15th in the league? Yeah, we did. Are they backing Ruben Amorim? Apparently, Ratcliffe came out to say that, yeah, he's willing to give him a 3-year contract. So obviously, they're heavily invested in Ruben Amorim. And the media has been, as per usual, jumping on as soon as Manchester United had a bad start. And that's why I didn't want to do a live, because I thought it was a nothing burger. Ronak Joshi in the house to say, looks like an investor, not a full takeover as of yet. Yet to be seen. Yet to be seen. Ronak Joshi continues. 10% for now. I think it's some of the Glazers want to outpart the sale. Well, it's like you're investing in Bitcoin, right? I don't know if anyone is trading with Bitcoin. Raise your hand. It's been a mad bull run, but now we're seeing volatility going like that. Like some child has been drawing on your wall right there. Because at the end of the day, right, you can take 25% part of your partial sale, right? You can close the position. You can take 50, or you can take 75% or 100%, right? What would you do? As a Bitcoin trader, as myself am, right? I'm heavily invested in Bitcoin. If I do make profit, I take 25% and I expose myself for another 75%. So I never miss the bull run if the price goes up. And this is what I think what you are trying to say here. 10% for now to take out some profit and then partial sale and then further on and further on, because Ratcliffe has also expressed that he wants to buy more shares into the club. Well, if Ratcliffe buys more shares into the club, and it's better than actually the scum Glazers, you know what I mean? Because they've been draining us for 19 years, and I hate that. Casinator, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Oh, you're doing an impression of Unai Emery. Good evening, Casinator. How are you? Big up and great to see you, bro. Thank you so much. It warms my heart, guys. I'm going to reveal a secret. I am sitting in Indonesia at the moment. Actually, specific location, if you want to pinpoint it, it's in Bali. And the time is now 01:14 a.m. in the morning, and I am excited to talk to you guys. So thank you so much, Don Bertram. What you saying here? What is Don saying? Glazers will not sell completely until new ground deals gets ahead. You mean the stadium? Now you're touching a little bit of my train of thought, Don, right? Because I certainly believe that they are looking for an investor for the stadium bill, right? This is what I believe. But let's listen to Ben Jacobs' clip, right? Big up, Danny B, as well. Thank you so much. As per usual, Carlos is in the house. Big up, long time, Carlos. How you doing? Harry Maguire should be the mental health coach for the younger players when they retires. Yeah, 100%. I mean, talk about mentality, right? When the chips was down, when Harry Maguire was booed out from the internationals, from the Three Lions, from the Manchester United loyal fans, he still stuck his ground. He didn't listen to the social media. He came back like Rocky Balboa and fought into the place. And look at him now. I have no issues with Harry Maguire as long as he doesn't start, because he's slower than an oil tanker trying to turn, right? We've seen that happen before. Like he caught off, on a high line, and he got toasted, right? So Harry Maguire for me is a beautiful substitution coming off the bench when we need him, but also a leader. Let me know your thoughts and feelings regarding that as well. Maybe I should start a poll regarding that. While I am doing, big up to all of you, pat yourself and do not forget to smash that like button, please. I'm going to start a poll. Let's close this yes or no, because I see that most of you have absolutely said yes, you smashed the like. Thank you so much. I start a new poll. Actually, I will start a new poll. Start a new poll. Harry Maguire. Let's do on Harry Maguire. Do you think Harry Maguire deserves a new contract extension? Yes or no? Simple as that. The question is, do you think that Harry Maguire deserves a new contract extension? Yes or no? Poll is running, peeps. God, that took me some time to compose. Big up everyone. Carlos is one. Turkey Al Sheikh. What you saying here? Ridwan tweeted again. He tweeted again. What has they said? He's a little bit of mischief, that guy. Sometimes he's well connected. He's well connected. Let me see. Let me refresh the page. This is getting more exciting, more interesting as we are live. Thank you, Ridwan. Thank you so much. What has he tweeted? Yes. What has he tweeted again? Is that about UAE? Was it, Ridwan? Let me know. Let me know. Because the latest tweet that I see that he's tweeted, blah, 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 blah. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. God damn it. Can somebody send me that tweet? I'm interested. So what has he tweeted? And well, of course, we have Simon Stone coming in to say that Manchester United sources have rejected claims made by Turkey that the club advanced negotiations over sales. Of course, they will keep it in the dark, right? Go on his official page, what Ridwan is saying. I will go on his official page. I'm just trying to find it, mate. I'm just trying to find it. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Where are you? Where are you, Turkey? Turkey, Turkey, Turkey. Turkey, Turkey, Turkey. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be making fun of Turkey, like, you know. Yeah, here we are. Let's see. Okay, loading. Loading. What has he tweeted? Yes, I got it. Okay, this is in Arabic. Show more. Translation. No, okay. What is the latest, guys? I see in Arabic. Man, I don't really. Guys, you know, Ridwan, if you can help me, what he tweeted. Yeah, I'm actually in his account. I'm in his account, but I can't read it. And I try to hit translation on his official account. I show you his official account, right? So yeah, this is official account. Right, so this is official account, and it's all in Arabic. So I'm trying to sort of understand what it is. What is his latest tweet, Ridwan? His latest tweet was posted, like, you know, 8th of October, 1 hour ago. But I can't seem it. Scroll down. Yeah. I can't seem to find the translation. Bloody hell. Translate. Sorry, guys. Wow. Okay. This is something in only if I could read Arabic. I can't, mate. I can't really, and it doesn't give me the translation. Yes, translate post. Here we go. No. No. Damn it. Okay. Scroll down. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I can't find it, mate. I really can't. But while we do, guys, smash that living like of this button. Down again. Okay, down again. Okay, down. MUFCP aggregated it too. Okay, it's from 11 minutes ago. Let me see MUFCBP2. This is interesting because we gotta have to do this. MUFCMBP2. What happened to the original account? Anyone that knows? MUFC MPB2. Yeah, here we go. What happened to the original MUFC MVP? They got banned or something. I don't know what happened, right? I'm trying to say. Oh, yes, here is. There is more, and that is this one, right? 10 minutes ago. Show more. Let me just bring that to the stage, people, and let us read it out. What is basically saying here, my yesterday's post about Manchester United's potential sale meant one thing. The club is in advanced negotiations phase with a new investor. Just to clarify, I'm not the investor, nor are they from my nation, meaning Saudi Arabia. I am posting this as a fan who wishes the deal to happen. Thought it might not necessarily happen. That is what Turkey is saying in his latest tweet. He's well connected, guys. So basically, he's saying that his yesterday's post was about Manchester United potential sell meant one thing. The club is in advanced negotiations, because he knows people in the region, right? So, and it's a new investor. just to clarify, I'm not the investor. Of course, he's not the investor. Turkey, he owns a couple of real estate companies and stuff like that. He's well connected within the Saudi. Whenever there's an event going on, Turkey is there 100%. All Turkey, right? But he's also saying that he's a fan. So why would he go out and troll this? Like, you know, as a Muslim that he is, as a Saudi is genuine, why would he come out and lie, right? It's haram to lie, you know what I mean? Don Bertram is saying it's back, it's a belief from the US of A. Wow. Big up all of you. But anyway, let's remove this and let's listen to the Ben Jacobs report earlier from the United Stand. Let's do this. Let's add Mr. Ben Jacobs on. Mr. Saudi
The first thing to say is that Turki Al-Sheikh is one of the most connected individuals in sport within Saudi Arabia, and he chairs the General Entertainment Authority. He runs Riyadh Season. If Manchester United come over for a friendly, then Turki Al-Sheikh will be across that. And
yeah, but that's exactly Ben. Ben Jacobs knows everything, everyone in Saudi Arabia, PIF and everyone. So if there's an event, Turkey's all over it, right? If there's any news, he knows.
He's well connected within investment circles, and yet sometimes he plays games and some things he publishes are to be taken with a pinch of salt. For example, he put a photo up of Mo Salah in an Al Hilal shirt, and about 2 weeks later, he extended at Liverpool. But Turki Al-Sheikh is well respected. Now, my understanding is a few things on this.
Okay.
The first is, if there is a mystery investor, it is not from Saudi Arabia.
That's exactly also what Turkey was tweeting here. It's not from Saudi Arabia.
So we shouldn't connect the fact that just because Turki Al-Sheikh posted this, it automatically means that any prospective investor comes from Saudi Arabia. It doesn't, as far as I'm aware. Second thing, people will leap to Qatar and Sheikh Jassim or anybody affiliated to him. And again, there's denials from the Qatar side as well. The bigger picture, is there an investor at all? Well, Manchester United sources...
This is where it gets interesting, right? This is what you need to pay attention. This is what I opened the live stream, knowing that the purchase contract with Ineos and the Glazers, the 18 months is coming up for this review. That means that the Glazers can now look for another investors, or Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos can buy more shares from them, Class B shares and Class A shares.
Are in the dark, and they deny that anything is advanced or close. But could there be a possibility that the Glazers are independently speaking to investors? I think maybe, simply because we know that their long-term game plan is to try and get this minimum 5 billion valuation. And you would think with the new stadium, that number would go significantly higher.
So here comes in the stadium, which I believe that they're looking for investor for the stadium, right? This could be a plausible cause, in my opinion. I'm not saying that I'm in the know. I'm disconnected from all of this. And let's continue what Ben Jacobs have to say.
If they are to go. And the other reason why the Glazers can hold conversations independent of the football club, whether they're formal or informal.
Because they own majority of the shares. They are the majority owners, and they have the right to do so without consulting with Ineos.
Is because a deal came into place after 18 months following Jim Ratcliffe coming in as a minority investor, basically still allowing the Glazers to sell and forcing Sir Jim Ratcliffe to go with the Glazers, or, as far as I'm aware, Ratcliffe being able to match any prospective.
Exactly, match. That is part of the purchase agreement. After 18 months, if Glazers want to sell for a certain price, Ineos and Ratcliffe has first refusal, and they have to match this bid. They even say, we are willing to bid but on this price, because in the purchase contract, it says $34 per share, what Ineos can buy more Class B shares. So this is exactly, in my opinion, if I take it with a pinch of pepper or salt.
Offer. So as soon as Ratcliffe came in, all parties knew that after 18 months, a clause would come to the fore allowing the Glazers to still potentially sell. But there's nothing advanced. There's no name I have at the moment. So I think we have to take this news with a little bit of a pinch of salt.
And a little bit of a pepper.
But not so much salt that we simply dismiss it, because Turkey Al Sheikh is very well connected in the Middle East. But again, I'm told if there is a mystery investor, it's not from Saudi Arabia and it's not from Qatar.
So it's not Sheikh Yassim and it's not Saudi Arabia. And we had also, Turkey coming out to say that it's not him either. And he also confirmed that it's not from his nation in the if you back the tape 5 minutes ago. So yeah, that's confirmed. Brilliant.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, because I think a lot of people
Oh, sorry, that's Beth talking. Big up to you, Beth.
did assume that it would be from Saudi because of Turkey Al Sheikh's connections to that side of things. When you speak there about the Glazers and Sir Jim Ratcliffe and their sort of partnership, would it be the Glazers that are out there that are sounding out potential investments? Do you think it's them that are most likely to want to sell their share of Manchester United?
Well, we got to first go into the comment section, because Jarle Malmin saying Ben is out of pepper. You need to ship some to him, 100%. I also want to dive into your comment section. Dan Bertram is saying that Ben is a nice guy. With living there, has good Middle East connections, 100%, speaks common sense, but connection-wise, not tier 1. Look, I've also lived down in the region. I worked in Saudi Arabia. I lived in the UAE for 15 years, so I know exactly what it is. I did message one of my contacts to ask, and I'm dying to find out as well what he said. At the end of the day, I don't want to be in the know. All I want is the Glazer bastards to sell the club. That's all I want, right? At the end of the day. Let's continue. So, yeah, maybe Ben is out of pepper, but, yeah, how much does it cost to ship a load of pepper to Ben? Now, Ben is doing great. Thank you, Ben, for providing us this update. Let's continue.
Yeah, Jim Ratcliffe is obviously committed. You don't speak one day about give Ruben Amorim 3 years and then 24 hours later start exiting the football club. But again, there's a special clause which is known as a drag-along clause.
The drag-along clause. Now, pay attention to this one. And what's your reaction regarding Ratcliffe giving 3 years contract to Amorim?
And that allows, within takeover terms or business transactions, the Glazers, after 18 months, to effectively, should they wish, put the club on the market, whether formally or informally. And if they get an acceptable offer, they can, in inverted commas, not literally drag along, or maybe more accurately, drag out Sir Jim Ratcliffe. But again,
that means drag out Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So that means if there is an investor that wants to buy 100%, it calls that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is getting dragged along. That means that he has to match that bidding price, right? Or force the hand of Sir Jim Ratcliffe to buy more, actually to have the first bid refusal to buy in more, right? So let's say if Glazers wants to sell 25% or 20% more, then it's called the drag-along, right? So any investor can come in. It can be the stadium built, which is going to cost over 1 billion to build the stadium. And in order to do that, you need investors. It's been widely reported. So I believe, in my humble opinion, that they are looking for investors for the stadium to come in as a part. Yeah, they might build the stadium, and in order to do so, they get 10% ownership. Does it make sense, Ben?
Told within that term, if a scenario happened where the Glazers got an offer and said, we want to go 100% of the club, everyone goes with us, including the minority investor, Ratcliffe would have the opportunity to then say, I want to match that offer, and then obviously buy 100% of the club. The other reason we have to be careful with this clause is because it would only really be feasible and it would only really be practical if a prospective investor wanted 100% of the club and only 100% of the club, which you may remember was the perspective of Sheikh Jassim. Because in theory, somebody could go to the Glazers and say, we only want your shares, and then they could have a conversation. And obviously Jim Ratcliffe would presumably say, if that happened.
That means that, technically speaking, the club is in the dark and the Glazers can do this by themselves, and some investor can say, I want to buy more of your Class B shares, because the Class B shares give the ownership right. They give you seats on the board, right? And Glazers can actually do that without even consulting with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. You understand? I'm trying to sort of explain this in a layman's term.
And you do that transaction, I still want sporting control. But of course, would somebody taking not 100% of the club, but a majority or all of the Glazers shares be happy with the current dynamic? And that's what makes this clause far more complicated than just saying it's there and it's active at the 18-month point.
Yeah, but at the same time, right, the more chefs, the worse, yuckier the soup, if you know what I mean. That's a saying that we say in Sweden, right? And for me, to have 3 owners all of a sudden, it is a complete mess. It's like having in Gordon Ramsay's kitchen, you have 3 Gordon Ramsays, but with different personalities and different tastes, right? Imagine dragons. I don't want to see that, But in layman's term, what he's trying to say here, right? If somebody wants to buy 100% of Glazers' share and also want to take control of Ineos, that means that at the end of the day, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's investment, he takes out the profit. Because if you add on the stadium build, you get that evaluation of 8 billion to 10 billion, right? If you're adding on the new stadium and the 100,000 seaters, right? And the revenue and the TV rights and all that stuff, and they all cash in and walk away, right? Sir Jim Ratcliffe's investment, everything that he pumped in, he gets the double money back, right? Smart business, right? But at the end of the day, I don't think that Glazers are willing to sell at the moment. I think the Glazers are looking to get some little bit more money, of course, take 25% more. We need cash liquidity. Let's talk to some potential investors. And it's not from Saudi Arabia, and it's not Sheikh Yassim.
Became valid in mid-August because naturally you've got this side deal between Ratcliffe and the Glazers about sporting control, which complicates any Glazers exit as long as Sir Jim Ratcliffe is there. So the clause is valid and relevant if someone says, I want 100% of the club. And because the Glazers have got the majority, they say, we want to take that. And then that investor says, but I want 100%. And then Jim Ratcliffe is forced along his way or potentially forced to match it. But
so hang on a second. So Glazers own about 60%, almost 58%, right? So if somebody wants to buy 100% of the Glazers Class B shares, that means that they become majority owners, right? And Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos Consortium are still having the 27%, meaning that is a complicated thing. But at the same time, Ineos cannot really do anything about that unless they want to match that bid. Oh, what a complication. Guys, what a mess.
Outside of that clause, if the Glazers wanted to sell 10% to somebody, then they could have their own conversation, keeping Sir Jim Ratcliffe in the loop. And again, Turki Al Sheikh did not say new owner, did not say majority owner, he said new investor. So if a mystery investor becomes a reality, and we'll have to wait and see, we have to understand whether this is somebody buying a small amount of Manchester United or a large amount of Manchester United or all of Manchester United. And once we get that truer picture, should anything advance, then it will be a lot easier to get a read on the situation. But right now, it was a surprise Turki Al Sheikh announcement. Manchester United sources are in the dark, but it's not entirely impossible that the Glazers might be holding these conversations, because we do know they've got a long-term exit plan. It's just about making sure if they do exit the club 100%, they do so with their valuation hit. And you would think the point when that happens is probably when this new stadium gets off the ground from paper to a reality, because then the club's more modern and obviously the overall value of the business grows.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Ben Jacobs. But I want to hear your thoughts and feelings, because I certainly believe, and I've been repeating this, we know that we need a new stadium. We don't have the money to do so. We asked the Council of the Greater Manchester. We asked the British government for sponsorship. And so far it's been blank no. You have to invest it in yourself. And we know that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is not going to invest from his own pocket to build the stadium. It's about $1 billion deal, right? And we know the Glazers is not going to even fork out $1 single dollar or penny to build the stadium. Just as an evidence, just look at what they did with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They forced the council to build the stadium for them. So basically, That is Glazers in the nutshell, and a broke-ass billionaire like Joe Ratcliffe. So I believe, and this is my humble opinion and my analysis, I think they are looking for an investor for the stadium build to have the naming rights. Okay, you give us 1 billion, you give a little bit of a 10% of the shares, but you own the stadium. We own the land bank, by the way, but you build the stadium for us. It's typical in real estate development when you have the master developer that owns the land and the contractor or the one that builds on it. It's like called freehold, right? No, leasehold. So you're basically leasing the land, but you're owning the absolutely structure of the building. So I think, in my humble opinion, I think that they are looking for investor for the stadium. Because why? It's going to take about 5 to 6 years to build. So why not getting the money right here, right now? The plan has been laid out there. The architecture is there. We all seen it. Some people call it the circus tent. But at the end of the day, guys, the link is pasted in here. So I want to hear from you guys. If you have a minute or two, just come in and have a say. Talk to me. Let me know what is your thoughts and feelings, right? The link is here. I'm going to paste it as well. Okay, here it is, right? Here it is. This is the link. It's also pasted in the Q&A, like in the chat, right? So if you want to come in, click on it, do it right here, right now. I'm going to do it again. So anyway, so I want to hear from you. I want to have a proper conversation. Let's do that. I copy the link and let's paste it in the chat, guys. The more the merrier. Express yourself. At the end of the day, don't be shy. I'm nervous. Let's go into the chat. Yeah, Ronak Joshi is saying here, what you think, Ronak, is that, yeah, the stadium system makes sense to have an investor part fund it and maybe become naming sponsor as well. So I agree with you. So that kind of makes a little bit of logical sense when you think about it, right? I'm just going to remove Ben Jacobs from the state. Thank you, Ben Jacobs, from providing this. And thank you, United Stand, because we didn't pay for it. You paid for Ben Jacobs to come on your show. So don't scold me on this. This is Manchester United community, and we care about a club. So excuse me for borrowing Ben for free. If you know, you know. Anyway, we have further news that Ronak Josh is saying here, I'd rather keep Maguire minimum basic wage and fat win bonus clean sheets. Yes, 100%. Let's continue with the chat. Having a peak on the share price, it's only up 0.5%. I haven't really checked the Man United stock price, but it's plummeting down. Kev McGee, what you're saying here? Kev is saying Turkey is close with Dana White and some of the big players in the boxing world. 100%. I love to know. But he is in the know, right? He is also a fan, and he absolutely came out to update. My yesterday's post about Manchester United was potential sell meant one thing. The club is in advanced negotiations phase. So he knows something, right? These rich billionaires, they are in a different league. They know, they talk to each other. Everyone knows. It's a secret little club, right? There are talks with new investors. Just to clarify, I'm not the investor, what he said, right? And they're not from my nation, Saudi Arabia. Certainly not. And Ben Jacobs also said that. I'm not posting this as a fan, what he said. He's not trolling. But I'm a fan who wishes this deal to happen. And this, I have to applaud him. And this is why we're having this conversation. No big moves from the share price, Don. Yeah. So I couldn't care less about the share price, but all I want is Manchester United back on the winning track again, to win us titles. But we've been hindered by the Glazers, 100%, for 18 years, since Sir Alex left. You know, we had so many managerial change. Coming in, changing formations, changing the style of play, lost the identity, got bankrupt from them, taking out dividends, all that jazz. But the dividends is not coming out, at least now when Ineos is in play. And this is what I like. And the fact is that the cultural changes happen with, you know, appointing a new CEO, sporting director, recruitment function, and all that stuff. So I got to give that a little bit of applause as well. A little bit credit when the credit is due. But I don't really like the cost cutting. But when the financial reports came out, I understood we are not closing in to breach the FFP. We're actually in plus. So that's good, right? All I want to do is to catch top 4, and we are not far away from catching the top 4. If you actually look at the league table, only 4 points. That is like, and 6 points to Arsenal. That's 3 games, or actually 2 games. Arsenal can easily lose 2, right? Anyway, continue with the chat. What you're saying here, Ronald Joker, ticket price has gone up, regardless fund the 100,000 stadium. Yeah, that is disgraceful, mate. You know, and even if we continue this, like, you know, this allowing league matches to be played in different countries and regions, this is just BS, right? UEFA has granted this from La Liga and Serie A to play in Miami, in US, because they need money, man. Really. So football is becoming a money machine. Football is not the way it used to be, and I miss that, right? So big up, Kev, again. Yeah, that's fair point, Joleman. What did Joleman said? Jolle said the last time someone had just wanted the Glazers shares, the minority shareholders kicked up a sandstorm and put stop to the Ratcliffe and Jazim getting all the shares. Bro, you know finances as much as I do, right? I haven't not really checked the stock market. I checked the Bitcoin market, the crypto, because it's going mental at the moment, right? So come in and have your say, guys. I don't see anyone coming in. I would love to hear your voices, right? Really. It's, instead of just me talking my analytic, but at the same time, if you don't want, we can read the comments. But do not forget to smash that like button. That is so important. Where are we at the like button? Ineos also got the sporting control, as someone could buy 58%. They will still not have the sporting control without removing Ineos. Yeah, good. But if that means that if somebody wants to buy the 58%, they'll be the majority holder, right? Owners. But who could it be? Could it be Dubai? Could it be UAE? I don't think so. Apparently Dubai consortium. Hell yeah. Give us yours the money, right? But at the end of the day, like, you know, it could it be also an opportunity for Ineos to, you know, pump in more money to buy out the Glazers? Because all I want to do is see the Glazers out. It's been out, right? If they sell 25% more, next time 10%, that means that they are not majority shareholders. And that is music to my ears, right? I've never forget what they've done to our club, and never should you. Y'all are true. This looks like a stadium talk, not ownership. You agree? Finally, some people are starting to think the same way. Only good thing Ben said is that the Glazers are looking for an exit plan. They might do so, man, right? But the only way they will look for an exit plan is they know if there's a stadium build and the overall evaluation will go up to 8 to 10 billion, right? They will cash in 100%. Who wouldn't, right? Everyone that's investing in the stock market or the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, when it's a bull run, it's a bull run. You cash in the profit, right? You will do that, and you'll be a rich man, right? Bitcoin price is predicted to go to 250 by the end of this year. Right now, it's sitting on 121, which has been a strange one. Glazers will sell part but keep majority holding. Fair thing. Again, this is the same thing what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, if you hodl Bitcoin, like, you know, if you do a leverage trade, meaning you put 6 times leverage, you want to take profit, you close 25% of that position and keep that position live for the next bull run. And you make profits that way, guys. And why is Manchester United not investing into cryptocurrency? I don't understand, because that could eliminate the debt so much more, right? I'm a big advocate of Bitcoin, right? Because if you look where Bitcoin was 1 year ago, it was sitting on 64,000 US dollar per Bitcoin. Guess now we hit all-time high 1 year later on 126,000. That is massive gains, right? So imagine if you took all your debts and everything and just invested in Bitcoin. Guess what? You're in profit. You don't have any more debts. But I wonder who sits there thinking about fiat currency and looking at the US dollar, which is plummeting down at the moment in value. This is just me being financial talk. This is not a financial channel, but, you know, guys, I like to talk about everything. Welcome back, Mick. Sanjay, thank you so much. Welcome back to you, Sanjay. Good to see you. If Bruno would have scored versus penalties top 4, God, don't get me started on that one. And the referee, come on. The PGML comes out 8 days later to say, well, it should be a red card and sorry for delaying 5-6 minutes. And bloody hell, it was the second time they've done that to Bruno. Of course, everyone who's played golf and tees up the tee shot and it's windy and you have to sort of regroup and reposition yourself. You have a mind map, know exactly when you go put that motherfucking ball, right? But if you get interrupted all the time, of course, you're going to lose momentum. We've seen it happening twice to Bruno. Mother yuckers of PGML. Right. Thank you, anyone. Sadiq Rahman, billionaires makes money of us in our club, Mick. 100%. I agree with you. I applaud you for that, man. Qatar should have bought the entire club. I wish Sheikh Yassim would have bought our entire club. I think at the end of the day, I think what happened, and this is my hunch, right? There was reports that he was leading, he was the favorite, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe all of a sudden did a mastermind to say, look, I give you 27%. You keep it. You give me footballing operations. I will restructure and we will build this stadium together. I think that this stadium was the key for winning this bid. Remember that Sheikh Yassim wanted to take 100%, right? Without even adding on the juice of building a new stadium. Because the stadium for me is the trigger point. And that is, again, we're going back to, I think this investment is about the stadium, and that's it. And once they got that investment, boom, evaluation will go up to 8 to 10 billion. 100%. Sadiq Rahman, I would rather invest to buy gold, Mick. Well, true that. Gold is going like crazy at the moment. Silver is going like crazy at the moment. When you look at fiat currencies, they are just depreciating, right? You're just printing money, it has no value. If you look at cryptocurrency, which is the modern world right now, Bitcoin is the digital gold, right? I'm back my corner. I do that. That's because I'm heavily invested, guys. Anyway, I'm just going to see the live chat as well. Like, what did you do on the... Okay, we did run a poll, guys. So I said, do you think that Harry Maguire deserves a new contract extension? 30% of you guys said no. Game over. And no. Yeah, sorry. 70% of you guys said, no way, Jose. You're done with Harry Maguire. And 30% said yes. Big up for everyone that voted. We only had 60 votes, but fair enough. Now, what else do we have to share today? This, international breaks. There is World Cup qualifiers. There has nothing been much more to say other than that. And at the end of the day, we got to sort of talk it. We got to call a spade a spade. I shared you the link to come in to have a say, but nobody came. It was fantastic to be with you. It was fantastic 50 minutes. I am so happy to be back. The reason per se that I haven't been live, because life caught up with me and I've been traveling a lot and working like a donkey and been having family problems. When life gives you lemons, you make a lemonade. But if life gives you semi-lemons, you keep a clean sheet. Oh, that was a good one. If life gives you semi-lemons, you keep a clean sheet. Yeah, cool. New director of football of Brentford. Who cares in the million race? Well, we're not here to talk about Brentford, but we're going to talk about Liverpool. We got to finish about the bloody Scousers, right? Because nobody's talking about it. ESPN, the Liverpool channel with Craig Burley and all, they love him. They love him. But where are they to talk? Where are they to talk about the flops? Verts, 0 goals, 0 assists in 9 matches. What? Isak who? I like Isak. But that guy's refused to go to training to only come to Liverpool. They bought over 450 million pounds of players. And they'll bottle 3 games in a row. And the media is not even talking about it. But when Manchester United is doing something, oof, it's like a Marshall amplifier. I'm done with that, right? Call it for what it is. Please call it for what it is. And big up Arsenal for leading the league, right? I don't want to see the Scousers do a double. But they thought they could buy the league by buying a lot of players. But one thing they forgot, one thing they forgot. When you buy too much players, it takes time to gel. God, I hope that they will not win the league. God, I hope they will not win the league. Thank you so much. Let me see. Before, good finish, Mick. Thank you so much. That was my rant about Liverpool. Also, news guys from PSG. Who's that? It is UAE, apparently. The real Donny Dibley. Well, we shall see. Like, guys, at least we lay down the foundation, right? At least we presented Ben Jacobs. At least we put out what's been out in the media, what Turkey is saying, like, you know. Because this morning I woke up and I was like, this is a lot of baloney. It's a lot of Turkey. Like, this is international breaks. But the more and more it comes out, the more I start thinking, take it with a pinch of salt, or is it pepper? It's a little bit of a yin-yang, so we shall see. Guys, thank you, beautiful people, for joining us in this live stream. It is time to say goodbye, and I would love to thank everyone that contributed to the chat and everyone that smashed that like button. Do me a massive favor. I promise I will be back live. I will invite Jarvis. I did invite Jarvis. I will invite as many people as possible because I missed you guys. At the end of the day, do me a massive favor. If you're new tuning in, and that's it. It's time to send it. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Send it.